Diary of a CEO, which is a podcast, very successful podcast. He's up there. I think he might have surpassed Rogan, or he's up there. A lot of it's related to health, lifestyle, finances, but also sometimes inspirational stories about motivation. Mr. CEO over here has gone viral because a lot of people claim he's an incel, or someone who's trying to cater to incels and red pillars through his podcast. They call him a Trojan horse. I'm going to showcase some of the many different clips that I've seen online that have gone extremely viral criticizing him.
Got 32-year-olds, 35-year-olds who do not have children, do not know how they're going to ever have children.
We have men on one of the biggest podcasts in the world talking about how desperate and scared they are that they are not going to pass on their genes.
Will not pass on their genes. They will effectively die out of the gene mating pool. So people will hear that, and many people will go, well, that's evolution.
Yeah.
But I want to understand if there's a counterpoint to that. It should society, in the short term, we're going to have a lot of men who are disillusioned, that become incels, find themselves in pockets of the internet, are resentful, all those kinds of things. But should society intervene to course correct that? Should we put systems in place to make sure that those men meet partners?
The thing that he says about should we put structures in place to course correct. You know, a woman has answered dressed as the Handmaid's Tale and said, I've got an idea for a system.
If you haven't seen Handmaid's Tale, Handmaid's Tale revolves around a society in which women basically are subservient to men. It's very, very oppressive in that regard. So there's multiple seasons of that.
Watching him become a Trojan horse for kind of the incel movement. Holly, you're a dabbler in
I'm a dabbler.
in Diary of a CEO.
I think that the problem is that they're really... Anyone who'll come on and say something controversial is the person that you want on the show.
Should society intervene to course correct that? Should we put systems in place to make sure that those men meet partners?
The idea that society needs to get involved because young men are choosing to become incels and falling in the all-right pipeline is a bit of a...
All right, so the exact same clips. You're going to notice it. Like, these clips went mega viral, and everyone's just like, they shitting on the man.
They shitting on the man.
Diarrhea of a CEO.
In some country, they pay extra money for that. I'm going to be a nuisance this whole stream.
Whereas, like, if you go and you look at, like, if you go to, like, some kind of senior event and you look at all the people who have grandkids, half the men there would not have succeeded on Tinder.
Yeah.
Right? And this is something that really, like, shocks people when I kind of tell them this. But if you want to see, like, who's succeeding, it's not the dudes on Tinder who are getting laid 15 times. Like, go to, like, I mean, this is sometimes a little creepy, but, like, if you go to a playground, you're going to see, like, a lot of, like, average-looking men.
What playground do you see average-looking men? Those are kids, sir. That's crazy.
She's talking about the people taking care of the kids.
My bad. I'm sorry.
The dads.
I'm sorry. Yeah. My bad.
With average median incomes who are, like, having kids. And that's what's really happening. But even those men are adapted in some way, right? Because they're not exceptionally attractive, they're not exceptionally rich, but they have something going on in their psychological makeup which allows them to form bonds and procreate.
You just said that a huge amount of men between the age of 15 and 50 will not pass on their genes. They will effectively die out of the gene mating pool. So people will hear that, and many people will go, well, that's evolution.
Yeah.
But I want to understand if there's a counterpoint to that. Should society intervene? Why is, you know, in the short term, we're going to have a lot of men who are disillusioned, that become incels, find themselves in pockets of the internet, are resentful, all those kinds of things. But should society intervene to course correct that? Should we put systems in place to make sure that those men meet partners?
I'm gonna answer that question with a question.
Okay.
If, let's say, a huge swath of people are dying out from cancer, should we intervene with that?
Yes.
If a huge swath of people are dying out from, like, a virus, should we intervene 100%, with that?
Yes.
If a huge swath of people are dying out from, should we intervene with that?
Yes.
This clip, if you stopped it right there, not gonna lie, it looks bad, right? Because they're talking about, hey, listen, you know, government overreach, basically getting involved, forcing to fix this issue of procreation. Mm-hmm. I decided to just play a bit more, so we're going to keep going. But this is, even up until this point, even me, I was like, oh, what's about to happen here?
Natural selection is about passing on your genes.
Yeah.
Right? It's about creating viable offspring. And this is where if someone, you know, and I think we also say yes, like if there's, you know, a couple that wants to have a child and that child has cystic fibrosis, should we help that couple? Should we help a couple procreate? We also say yes. If a woman is unable to have kids, even if we say if a man is unable to have kids, Should we medically intervene so that they're capable of having kids? Yes. Right? So if we're talking about a couple, if we're talking about a human being and there's a medical problem, or if we're talking about protecting people from death, the answer is yes. This is a new question, which is, do people have the right, and I don't know if right is, maybe that's the right word, to reproduce? And this is what's so challenging about it, is like the answer is basically no, because for men, that requires the consent of someone else. And my right to reproduce never trumps someone's right to not want to reproduce with me.
This is why I was able to breathe a sigh of relief. So I was like, yo, where the fuck is this going?
Yes.
But
I still feel like we're not there yet.
Now, this is where the fundamental biological difference comes in. Because a woman doesn't need a man to reproduce. I can go to a sperm bank. And once again, you can argue that you can get laid if you want to, but that hasn't been my experience. I think women struggle with loneliness and finding sexual partners and stuff quite a bit as well. There's some really bad perception on the internet. So I think this is like a new problem for society, which is why it hasn't been solved. I don't know what the societal answer is. I'm not a sociologist. I don't think we need to solve that. What I found works really well is that usually the problem that these men are failing to adapt to can be fixed. The solutions that work for the people who are successful will not work for the people who are unsuccessful. These are apples and oranges. When I say, okay, I am happily married with 2 kids, but the thing that I did won't work for these people. That's been my clinical experience. My advice does not work for them. Your advice won't work for them. What we need is a different system that addresses their fundamental problems, right? Because I had what it takes internally. I was loved as a child. So I knew how to give love and receive love. A third of the men that I meet do not know how to give love and do not know how to receive love. Has nothing to do with their Tinder profiles. That's why they're fucked.
It's a good place to just pause it.
That was a lot of words to get to the point. I'm tired.
That's how you talk.
Yes.
With more sideways.
I sympathize. That was me sympathizing. I'm gonna try to do better.
It's okay. You're you. He's him. Just live your best life. Y'all take journeys to get to your point. It's okay.
Sure.
I love a good RPG. I love seeing character developments. I love seeing level ups. I love seeing your equipment improve. So it's okay.
Upgrade.
Be you. Let it be him. By the way, someone said that when I said that you're watching your equipment improve was hella sus. So I love seeing your equipment improve.
Well, it was kind of sus. Why are you watching equipment improve? That's crazy.
Because I'm a true RPG fan. I love to see blacksmiths strengthening weapons and armors and then seeing the +1, +2.
Right? Hanging on that steel.
That's it. That's it. If your sword gets sturdier, I'm happy.
What the fuck?
This woman, I just want to play clips of it because I want y'all to just kind of see how she watches the clip and how she internalizes it.
If you look at like the comparison of scholarships, male-only scholarships versus female-only scholarships, there's about $4.9 billion worth of scholarships given out in the United States from private sources. Female scholarships outside of athletics are way higher than male scholarships. So if you look at athletics, the number is way higher for men. So the people who need more gender-based support are men, but we don't really do that.
Okay, already we're off to a great start. They're discussing that the fact that women get more help and more scholarships to go to university means that men are the ones who need gender-based support here. But this is already such a twist of the truth. Women don't get majority of the scholarships because society has decided to be nice to us. We got them because for most of history, and including up until now, we have been actively excluded from education, from professions, from research, from funding, from leadership positions. Women to this day are so deeply underrepresented in STEM, in senior academic roles, and in research funding. Yes, men are struggling in education in a variety of ways. That's real, right? But that doesn't magically erase centuries of gender inequality and turn women into the problem. If men are disengaging from education, maybe we should be talking about masculinities, emotional repression, anti-intellectualism, and the rise of alt-right pipelines on social media, not immediately blaming women.
I just want to take a second, because I actually agree with a good portion of what she's saying. Until she gets that last line. And then she says, blaming women. Where in that is he saying that women are the problem?
For most of history, and including up until now, we have been actively excluded from it.
Exactly. And now that men are the ones who are showing poor academic results and poor issues, they're saying, hey, this thing that we did that for women that helped them succeed to the point where now they're surpassing men in this field, is there a way that we can reproduce this result for men? And you're seeing that as an attack on ladies or something about women. To me, from what I could see in that clip, and even in the extended version, it did not look like that.
Men are hurt, women are hurt, everybody's hurt. But whenever you're trying to talk about an issue like that, they're hurt, and the hurt comes out. But it wasn't me. Okay, calm down, Shaggy.
Maybe ladies are primed because, a lot of men have spoken about males' issues and then blamed it on women at the end of the day, or feminists, for the reason why they're suffering. And so maybe they see a lot of grievances that men may have in regards to society and the way things unfold, and they may just assume. I don't know. But I'm just saying, when I watch that clip, I don't know what you can watch in that original clip from Dr. K and say he's blaming women.
When you have a problem like that and you expose something, automatically people are going to feel, if they're not the victim of the problem that you're talking about, they're going to feel like the oppressor. Talking about an issue with men doesn't infringe automatically on women. Doesn't mean that women are, but that's how people feel. People feel attacked. And it's the same thing for men. Oftentimes you're going to have discussion with people and they're going to see like, well, women are living this, women are living that. Well, yeah, but it's not us. Yeah, I was just saying that some women are living that. And then you feel like, the men feel like, whoa, it ain't me. Yeah, bitch, it ain't you necessarily. That's not what the person is saying, but that's human nature. People are going to be like my mom. They're going to think that it's all about her.
Now, it's possible that with a longitude study, you might find that scholarships might not fix the reasons why men are not graduating from college as much. It's possible. But none of that has to come at the expense of women. None of what he says women are to blame. None of what he says in regards to the fact that men need some support in regards to being able to graduate from college means that we have to take from women or women are at fault. I spent the 2010s listening to feminists tell me that patriarchy oppresses men and women. That was a common thing to hear. You remember hearing that? Men should be on our side. And now that this guy's like, hey, by the way, men are suffering under the system. You're like, are you saying we're to blame? Nobody said that. Someone said, yo, Ab, why are you highlighting this creator? She has 400 subs or what? I don't care. She's saying things in a thoughtful manner. It's research. It may not come to the conclusion I think is most accurate, but I think she made an effort, and she's probably one of the people. You could have you could have 0 subs. I don't give a fuck.
If what you saying?
If your video is decent, I'm watching. I don't care about that stuff.
But it's just more victim blaming. He's saying that because men are being denied the chance to procreate, to pass on their genes, and in parentheses there, because of women, that's what's making them more unlikable.
He never says anything explicitly. She's saying it's implied. We all watched that extended clip of Dr. K on that podcast. When he got to that end of conclusion, what did he say?
A third of the men that I meet do not know how to give love and do not know how to receive love.
That they didn't grow up in environments that taught them that. So one thing that men can do in terms of taking ownership is learn that. And if you watch the whole podcast, which I decided to do, most of that podcast is spent on dudes talking about self-improvement, men talking about therapy, men talking about discussing their emotions and not avoiding it, getting over their prawn addiction, figuring out how to love and be loved. Nothing in that extended podcast spends extended amount of time going, women are to blame for why men are lonely.
So what you mean is they're really just talking about women being the problem the whole podcast.
Yes, in parentheses.
In parentheses.
And in parentheses there, because of women.
So when we tell men, put your dick down and stop jerking it to those anime girls, women are to blame.
That's hardly specific.
Right? When you weren't loved as a little boy by your parents and you didn't learn how to love, in parentheses.
Because of women.
Women.
I ain't gay no more, Lord.
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered.
Right. But don't take my word for it. We have a culture right now that venerates these clips, and people react to the clips as if the other person who reacted to it before had the whole context. I'm going to play more of these clips for you guys, and you're going to see that none of them have to do with the reality of what was discussed on that podcast.
A huge amount of men will not pass on their genes. They will effectively die out of the gene mating pool.
I think this whole conversation is just about patriarchal entitlement to have children. I find it really interesting that
What you mean? That's exactly what the fuck happened, bro. That's exactly what happened.
And how it's a worry for men that men aren't able to pass on their genes. By definition, would that not mean that women also aren't passing on their genes? It has to. It has to, right?
No, because you kind of explained that women, because you guys have the right and the ability to control your wombs, can decide to go to in most places. Some places y'all can't, right? You guys can go to the sperm bank and have children on your own.
Yeah,
Men cannot force that on somebody else. And that's a good thing. But he mentions that. So there's an asymmetry there. That's one. But two, just because someone advocates for issues regarding men does not mean that they're saying that women don't go through some similar issues, right? Just because someone's focusing on male loneliness does not mean that they're saying women don't have loneliness problems too.
People in the comment are saying, yeah, but man can get a surrogate. That's not a legal thing to do. Okay, you're going to have to deal with legalities with that. One, are you putting together going to a sperm bank and getting a surrogate as the same? You have to,
$100K.
Yes, because you have to pay. You have to pay this livelihood of that person during surrogacy,
and it's illegal.
And it's illegal in a lot more places.
That's a down payment on a nice house.
No, it's not even a house. It's a good house. Mm-hmm. It's a good car. Like
in the Midwest, it's actually the whole house.
You can't even. And a backyard, and a pet, and a surrogate. You can't even equate the two. Yeah, but man can do that. Yes, for $100K. You think they're the same as going to a sperm bank? You're dumb. I'm sorry. And you probably just said that like that, but think about what you just said.
You know, we need to even step away from that ledge. Dr. K was sitting across from you, like he did in the podcast. He would acknowledge that both men and women deal with loneliness issues, that both of them would like to have a partner when having a child. So even us doing this whole but men can do this, yes, there's truth to it, but I don't even think that's productive. I think that's the main issue that we have, is that any time we talk about any gender's issue, we immediately extrapolate to the opposite sex being the reason why we're in this position. You must be an incel because you said, that's not the reality. Some people would like men to not feel loneliness and not center it around blaming women. And that podcast didn't do that. I think people inferred because they cut that shit up and that's all they did. Now you might say it's because you got a dick between your legs. First off, don't assume my gender. Second,
he's got a dick. I checked. What?
Secondly, I don't have a second point. It just felt right to say that.
You know what? If I was them, I would also be scared. I think they have every right to be scared. What bothers me about it is that if I was in their situation, I would be trying to do everything that I can to better myself and better my situation.
I am confused because I'm watching all of these clips go viral with all these different talking heads talking about Handmaid's Tale or this and that. And that was never the conclusion. That was never the tone throughout, but that's the conclusion that everyone drew from it because this one clip went viral and none of these fucking people went to go watch the thing in its entirety.
You're seeing in real time what a relationship between a man and a woman is. And the discussion is sometimes. Sometimes it's going to be an issue. One person is going to talk about one thing and the other person is going to talk about one other thing that has nothing to do with what the first person said. Sometimes men and women live on two lines that are never going to meet. Or we're talking about things that were not even mentioned. Like we're bringing things in conversation that were not even mentioned in the first place. So
But there seems to be this shift where it's become blame women for men's problems. We have a lot of men who are disillusioned and becoming incels. And listen, before the comment section start to hyperventilate, unclench, right? I'm not saying men's problems aren't important to talk about. They are real. Men's loneliness, real. Men's mental health, real. But what is also real is when a podcast starts to give manosphere ideas a ring light. And
let's put systems in place. Immediately, y'all went to Handmaid's Tale, okay? There's an alternative. To my knowledge, I think in Korea, what they started doing was like dating events. They were like doing paid like singles events for people to go meet. None of it's mandatory. It's government funded. It's to help people meet. What's wrong with that? Whether we like it or not, the ideas of populations aging out is an issue. We need new people to come in. That's why immigration is a thing. People are not having kids. We can't force nobody. But if the government wants to get involved in helping people with matchmaking, provided it's not forced, provided it's not coerced, what's the problem? Should the government get involved to this? And you went right to the most extreme. If that's what they start talking about, I'll be right beside you to condemn them. But no one discussed infringing on people's freedoms. I don't watch Diary of a CEO. I don't know enough about the podcast. Maybe there's other videos. I've only watched a couple of videos with the Gottman couple. They're like psychiatrists who are a couple. They've been married for a long time and they talk about love. They've done a lot of studies in regards to relationships. Very good. They've written many books. They're very reputable. And it was very insightful. Nothing in that screamed pro man or pro woman. It was just things about functional relationships.
My issue with Diary of a CEO is it's all therapy coded, isn't it? Whole soft voice, slow nodding, big empath energy. Just because you say it calmly and softly and have this nice background does not make the conversation crazy. So you get a guest coming on going, you know, modern feminism is the reason why birth rates are falling. Or dating is broken because women have got standards now.
So see how you shoehorn that shit in? Show me the clip. Show me the podcast guest who said that stuff. Don't infer it. Don't give me your interpretation. Show me the clip so I can go watch the whole podcast. We've gotten to the point where people are just sharing these clips as if their quotes that these people are making are true about the other people, and it's not. And it kind of reminds me of that video we did about that girl, about Sam Harris, where she claimed that that dude was a cannibal. And when you watch the clip in its entirety, it's literally a clip of him saying, someone could take this out of context years from now. And the took it out of context. I would like for our ecosystem to just have a little bit of due diligence, not even so you can agree with me, so that your critiques can be more informative. You know, I touched on this earlier. I've definitely sat across some ladies before and in talking to them about dating, children, all this stuff, I've heard a lot of their grievances when it comes to how men feel about pregnancies and how they don't understand. And like, it's real. I've seen my cousin go through it. I've seen close people go through it. Pregnancy fucks them up. Mm-hmm. And it saddens me that there's a lot of dudes out there who don't know, who casually, very casually, I want my girl to have 7 kids. You know, like people ask me, how many kids you want? I'm like, let's just get through one. And then we see after.
Let's get through this relationship.
I've had girls sit across from me like, I want 4 kids. I'm like, girl, let's get through one. Because you ain't even experienced postpartum yet. You don't even know how your body gonna react. You don't even know if you're gonna make it. Because yes, people die. The reason why I say that is not because I don't want the idea of more kids. I certainly do. The idea of a cool big family. I grew up in one, 7 kids, so you can imagine. But even in talking to my mom and talking to the women in my life, I've gotten to learn what they go through. And there's no way you can love somebody and so casually, flippantly put them through something so physically arduous for some of them. Some of them, go through smooth pregnancies. I'm not saying it's everybody. But some of them go through something super difficult. And to sit across from somebody like that and just be like, you're 5, 7 kids, it's a lot. So there's a conversation to be had about that. But the way these fucking goofballs do it, they never gonna hear it because y'all had to lie. Some dumbass said, 7 kids? You rich or you Jewish? No, we're African.
This has got a man just saying, I'm asking questions. Except the questions are, women, explain yourself.
What?
So where are the women? Where are the women?
And we need to stop entertaining this stuff. So show me the clip where it gives that energy.
Instead, you'll get a woman on there every leap year, right, who talks about her feelings or skincare.
That's not what.
Because the thing is, if
I don't watch Diary of a CEO much, I can assure you it's not every leap year. It's very often that women are on, and they're great guests.
I'm disappointed, Shabazz. I am. I really am. And not that it matters. It doesn't matter. I'm not your father. I'm not your mother. I don't have to be disappointed in you. But goddamn, man, do some work.
You have to start talking about these narratives because these narratives spread like wildfire. And then people watch someone else cover the same narrative and they're like, well, if 10 different content creators are covering it, it must be true. No, 10 fucking people who have big ass followings were too fucking lazy to go look the original podcast up.
I love that because some people are talking, the people from those groups are talking about the other group saying these people live in an echo chamber, not realizing that they're also living in an echo chamber of people repeating their own stuff and their own thing, not even trying to check themselves. It's funny because right here, sometimes I be saying stuff, right? I be saying stuff and I was going to be, when did that happen? What happened? Where? When?
Is this AI? Is this real?
Did you check it?
Because you have to check everything.
And I'm grateful for that.
Yep. This is not an endorsement of, what's this guy's name? Bartlett. CEO. CEO is just easier. I'm not saying his name. It's not an endorsement. I don't know this man. I don't know watching enough of his content to care. I'm just saying what criticism I saw going viral consistently and the narrative built around that. So already you guys are building in my head a more favorable opinion of him because y'all couldn't critique him on what he actually said or what he meant. Y'all had to lie about him. And that's the issue. Someone said, yo, Abba, his name is Stephen Bartlett, not Chris Bartlett. You might want to change that. No, his name is CEO. And I think he's going to be very happy that I call him CEO.
Why?
Nigga, would you rather be called CEO than getting your first name correct?
No, just call me by my name.
I don't know, bro. I went to Preacher's house. That's a CEO house. That ain't Preacher's house.
Shut up.
No man named Preacher's house.
Bringing up my house,
It's a castle, bro.
Oh,
there was
no,
a
it's
tower.
not. No,
where you strengthen your equipment.
There is no towers.
I'm telling you, a blacksmith works on his sword.
There are no towers.
I didn't realize how much money we made until I went to Preacher's house. And then I'm like, do we make that much money? Because I'm living very humbly in my 2-bedroom.
And here's the thing, what I don't want to hear is the concept, you taking it out of context. Maybe watch the full episode. I'm not saying, again, that his guests can't have opinions. It's just the challenging is not done.
Pause. But have you watched the whole thing? I don't want to hear it. No. That's the problem. That you don't want to hear that. Have you? Can we just start a trend? I'm not talking about no trend about make me sweat. Not none of that. A trend where when you see something, and I'm gonna hold myself as well accountable for that shit too. When we see something, let us flip. But before we react, always ask ourselves: is that shit even real? Was that even said? Can I go see the clip? Let's just normalize that.
I just want to push back. Because I was curious. Did he say that there's no pushback, that he never does? I already don't believe him because this guy's already been lying throughout the video. But I just looked it up. Here is a video called Atheist versus Christian versus Spiritual Thinker. And he has a round table with people with completely different opinions, all sitting across from each other debating different. Now, is that enough pushback for you?
But if Christianity were true, we would not expect the kind of suffering that is present in the world.
What if I died from cancer at 1 year old?
So someone violated God's commands, and that had an impact on the world.
So children get cancer because a few million years ago someone ate it.
What I would say that science and spirituality can really add.
And even if there's not pushback in every single interview, he shows counter-prevailing narratives from religious, atheists, people who are spiritual, therapy, new therapy. He does a lot of different guests. He might not push back within that interview, but he'll bring on guests with contrasting views.
Anti-family message that comes about, that there's a girl with the list on TikTok. She is open to seeing the world as she wishes. I think by the sounds of things, it is a really good idea that she's not a mother, and I'm glad that she's choosing to not have kids. But that tone, that sentiment is like prevalent.
Name drop. I've never listened to this podcast before. I had no idea who these men were before this morning. I just wanted to share because you guys know one of my major stretch goals for 2026 is to be blamed for the declining birth rate by some major right-wing news organization. And this is not that, but we're getting closer. We're getting close. I can taste it. And it's not even 2026 yet.
So if you don't know who this girl is, she's the girl with a list. There's a girl on TikTok who published a list of reasons why she doesn't want to have kids. And the list is crazy long. Some of it's funny. She goes, morning sickness. This girl threw up so much from morning sickness, she popped the blood vessels in her eyes. It looks like this.
I gotta admit, that's hot. If you're going for the vampire look, you're a fan of Blade, you're a fan of Edward, whatever.
Twilight.
Huh?
Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight shit. If you're going for the Dark Maul.
So a couple other ones, you can become allergic to your own skin. You can't choose how many babies you have. Imagine you finally decide you're ready to have kids and then boom, triplets. That's triple the finances, triple the mouth to feed, triple the stress. She goes on, some of it humorous, some of it very real, things that women have to go through when it comes to pregnancy. And the list goes super viral. So this is a Chris Williamson clip that went viral where he talks about the woman with the list. Let's play it a little bit. For folks wondering why Chris Williamson is wearing the shades and looking douchey, to my knowledge, Chris Williamson is suffering from some serious disease.
He's apparently suffering from Lyme disease. And
so, like, just to give you an idea, so y'all see the thumbnail, very sick. So, to my knowledge, he did this around that time, all right? Before y'all start clowning him for his look, he's sick. So maybe that's why, or maybe he's just a douche and he likes glasses indoor. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
That's some great glasses.
Lyme disease is no fucking joke for people who are really going through it.
Nope, it ain't.
Right? That could be a lesson, perhaps. Yeah. That you will never feel ready. That could be an unteachable
100%.
lesson.
We have this population decline situation going on. And is it not a function of or a consequence of the fact that we have more freedom, more control, we're like more nihilistic?
It's a function of people having other stuff to do. Reliable contraception. That means that you can choose to put it off. Specifically, women's socioeconomic emancipation into the workforce and in higher education. It means that at 18, the first thing you do isn't get married. Oh, I'm going to go to university. Well, I've just put 3 or 4 years into university. I'm going to now go and get a job. And now I've committed to the job. I'm going to maybe climb the corporate ladder. And that's pushed the vitality curve back. It's made it later rather than being earlier. And another problem is because there is such a multiplicity of different life directions that people can go down, the likelihood of you being ready at 22 and you meeting someone else who's also ready at 22 is actually quite low.
A lot of you watching, some of you are going to see this in the future. Some of you watching this live. Y'all might think the greatest thing to come out of Korea is K-pop. No, it's this fucking drink. Soju is magic. I don't know.
That's the thing that's inappropriate that you was about to say?
No. The thing I didn't say that y'all never gonna hear.
Yeah, he's not saying that. He's not saying that.
If one of you pieces
and
of
you
shit,
say I'm fucking stupid,
I didn't say it.
You started the audacity.
Whoa.
You know what? You're so fucking.
The measure of a man.
First and foremost,
it's not by the thoughts he has, but by the thoughts he does not usher.
First and foremost,
let it burn. In your.
First, that's fucking stupid. The audacity of this motherfucker.
Stop.
I'm not saying shit.
Was that not a porno? It's the thoughts you don't usher. Let it burn.
Yeah, it was.
No.
We all see your drunk rage right now. No, stupid.
I blame women.
I certainly think that there is a anti-family message that comes about that there's a girl with a list on TikTok, which I think is this girl who wrote 350 reasons to not have kids. It's like 8 pages, 9 pages long. It went super viral, and it's everything from literally a parasite growing inside of your body to can't wear cute heels with the girls, will have to miss brunch, all of the different issues that can occur during childbirth. And I think there was a list of things for kids, and it was like maybe half a page long that she'd written. And she is open to seeing the world as she wishes. I think by the sounds of things, it is a really good idea that she's not a mother, and I'm glad that she's choosing to not have kids. But that tone, that sentiment is like prevalent.
Name drop.
So you saw where she cut the clip. This is what comes right after.
Because people see this is what I have to sacrifice now. Pain, discomfort, lack of freedom for something that I have no idea about whether or not it's going to make me satisfied in future. And yeah, maybe people say it's the most important thing or whatever, but it's easy to excuse away when there are so many other things I can do with my life. I can travel around Bali and I can watch Netflix and I could build a business and I could start a Substack or I could build a YouTube channel and do a podcast. All of these things that you could do. Pushing off. It's no surprise. And the final point is, I think having kids is mimetic. South Korea has got one of the worst birth rates in the world. It's
worst birth rates, best soju. I think we played enough of this clip. When you watch it in its entirety, does it sound as bad as they made it out to be? I'm curious. And from your perspective, I want to hear what you guys think. Did you guys feel watching that this man was over here being like, women are to blame? No, he's saying that because of freedoms and the fact that they now feel fulfillment in things other than children or the idea of family that people are trying to sell them, they're focusing on those things. Is that blaming them? I don't think so. I think it's acknowledging the fact that, one, there's a group of people now who used to be pigeonholed into having kids. And now they're like, yo, I want to do other things. I want to have dreams. I want to have a career. I want to travel. And it's good. I'm not even sitting here being like, what the fuck? That's the vibe I got. Now, maybe I'm being too charitable. Okay?
You are.
Okay, hit me. Whoa.
You do it. Don't threaten me with a good time. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Go ahead. I'm going to play the clip back again.
It's like prevalent.
Name drop. I've never listened to this podcast.
You see the way it's clipped? It's literally clipped to the most minute portion that sounds almost inflammatory when edited that way. When you listen to its entirety, it's like, I think he's just describing the sociological differences that have come about. And I think that if a woman had come up here and said, of course we don't want to have kids. We have dreams, we have careers, we have travel, there's so many other things, and people have been selling us on marriage. Nobody would bat an eye. Because what he said is not untrue.
It's not that inflammatory.
It's not untrue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at women when they tell me, like, yeah, I want to do this stuff. I want to go to Kilimanjaro and hike. I want to go here. I want to advance my career. I love what I'm doing. Of course.
I don't need that much like to convince me. A girl come up to me and says, I like sleeping.
Yeah! I think now we've played all the clips. I think we've given it more context, but if you don't trust us, go watch the clips in their entirety. I always encourage you guys not to take our word for it, and I mean that. I don't say that to like cover myself. I mean that. Because I might disagree. Maybe we got it wrong. But me and watching the entirety of those podcasts and watching them at full length, they didn't give off the vibe that people gave. And the way that those clips were edited, they were malicious. They took those men out of context and they made them sound like the worst versions of whatever incel thing you can imagine. And I'm sure if you edited me in a 13-second clip, shit. Yo, me and Nick Fuentes probably hang out. I ain't gonna lie to you, you know what I'm saying? In that 13-second clip, we probably look like we do.
They're gonna clip that and say, Nick Fuentes and me just hang out. It's crazy. And then that's it.
And then I'm gonna have to make a YouTube video and get some AdSense money. But that's all I wanted to say on this topic. I think it kind of covers it.
The way my brain works, and you said to me, hit me. And I had two options in my head. It was either hit me, like I was about to hit you, or go, hit me. Can you keep up? Baby boy, can you lose my breath? I had to.
But did you notice, if you replay it, just watch, I say hit me, but did you notice my back foot was already going
of course.
Yeah, I was already I was pot of bering out of the frame because I know how you might have interpreted it.
Yeah.